If you've been to Riverdale, it's all picture perfect on the surface, until you really get to know the place, and bam! The darkness hits you in the face. But did you know that the series is coming to an end? With the 7th season coming soon, we will officially be saying goodbye to Archie and the gang. What's more, the makers have hinted of a brilliant spin-off. Let's get to it. Grand promises and what they mean. The town of Riverdale has had a special place in our hearts, and we cannot wait to find out what the makers have planned for season 7, which will be the end of the series. According to the network, this season will complete its full length and will not be cut short. We cannot even begin to explain how happy that makes us feel, because you can imagine not knowing each character ends up. We really don't like those shows that just get sliced in half so the network can save money. Too many loose ends. But that's not happening to our favorite season at all. Such relief. They're also hinting at something big happening, and we are excited. What could it be? Will Betty finally end up with Jughead? Don't look at us like that. We ship these two and always will. Will Archie drop the holier-than-thou act? Will Cheryl finally stop being so dramatic? We cannot stop cooking up all these scenarios. Have any theories as to what might happen? Let's exchange notes. But let's just back up a little bit. We believe in keeping it real, and to be honest, the makers have been holding out on us. What started as an insanely fun experience turned into a drag, with plot twists that made us think we were on Jingle Jangle. There we said it, and we ain't sorry. From Mr. Lodge buying the detention center to Veronica getting with Reggie, we all went a little mental there. All this didn't, however, stop us from watching the show. You know what they say about toxic relationships? Can't live with and can't live without. Well, they have said they'll change, and once again, we have our hopes up. Don't you let us down now, people, please. So what's exactly in store for us? If Grapevine is to be believed, and we have good reason to believe, in the upcoming season, our beloved characters will have superpowers, as will the villains. According to KJ Appa, the theme of the show is very Harry Potter meets Stranger Things. Curious. Very curious. We do hope this doesn't make it completely un-Riverdale-like. See, we take this show quite seriously, and we'd like it to remain that way. But it does make us think some more. What powers do you think Archie would have? Lie detection? And what about Jughead? Invisibility? We think Betty will definitely have mind control for sure. Like we said, we are invested. If we say that Riverdale has been an iconic show, well, we wouldn't be lying. No matter how many hiccups the show went through, it always seems to strike a connection with its audience. Their characters are relatable, and the emotional arch of the characters has been quite strong. Sometimes too strong, but hey, we aren't complaining. As for who will end up with whom, to be honest, it's anyone's guess. The plot twists and constant love interest shuffling makes us feel like a jukebox is broken, and we may never get to our favorite songs. But let's not get too gloomy about this. All the songs on here are pretty damn awesome, but we have a wistful wish list, and we aren't afraid to share it. We will forever bet on Jughead and Betty. These two look good together. They also clearly care about each other a lot more than any other couple on the show. I mean, Archie kissing Veronica if he is oh so in love with Betty. We aren't accepting any conflicting arguments, thank you very much. KJ Appa himself mentioned this. According to him, the kiss didn't mean anything to Archie. See what we mean? Like, who is this guy Archie? What is he doing going around breaking hearts like this? So much trouble because a boy can't figure out what his heart wants? Real life coming to real life? Now then, are you ready for things to get even crazier? From the days of yore, Riverdale has come a long way. We might have stomached the darkness of the show carried, as opposed to the comics, but don't you think that things have now gone too far? We do, and that makes us wonder how the writers will tie up all their outrageous storylines. Because to be honest, we want a proper closure, enough with the unraveling. Like we haven't recovered from one thing, and lo and behold, Betty has the psycho gene, Veronica lets Daddy die, her own father, Archie becomes a raging lunatic, and Jughead is an addict. Like, you with us? Does this even remotely remind you of Riverdale Season 1? We get it, things change as do people, but doesn't this look too extreme? Now do you get why we're so pumped to find out what happens? There's so much that needs to come full circle. Anyways, who made it to Season 7? Ain't this the most important question? We've lost so many over the years. Mr. Fred, Tony, Mr. Lodge, Mr. Featherhead, Dilton, Joaquin, Baby Teeth, and so many more. There have been a total of 103 deaths in Riverdale. Shocking? Can't say it is. We felt every loss. I mean, mostly we did. But the bigger question question is, what characters have made the cut? Who's returning for the supernaturally powered Season 7? To this, we have answers. Well, there's a list, and thank God for that. Archie, Betty, Veronica, Jughead, Cheryl, Kevin, Reggie, Tabitha, and, surprise, surprise, Tony are all going to be returning to our screens. How our hearts exploded when we read Tony's name. It's not every day that you hear the Serpent Queen will return to rule the streets of our favorite, albeit a little creepy, town. Tony dying last season was such a blow to our hearts. The unending heartbreak that has plagued Cheryl and Tony needs to end. Let the queens unite, we say. From the older cast, Mary Andrews and Alice Cooper are all set to entertain us again. With Nana Rose also leaving in Season 6, it looks like we'll have fewer of the original cast. Coming to the writers, they seem to be having the most fun. You'd think that the actors would be the happiest, getting to be so many different personalities. All in one season, but it has been truly a writer's heaven. Can you imagine not having to write in a box, to have no limitations, and to let your thoughts run wild? How else do you think all these alternate universes and personalities came into being? We believe that the writers just pulled all the plugs when they started discussing what course this season should take. The slow, darkening theme to the show that now deals with magic and superpowers, Riverdale has come a long way, baby. We can only imagine how much thinking has gone into this. The writers have previously mentioned that when they start to write for a season, they bring totally different storylines to the table, and then they try to combine them along the way. That sure explains why we have experienced such a roller coaster ride these past seasons. Come to think of it, Riverdale can totally make it as a personality disorder show. We've seen the range of emotions these characters have, and let's just put it politely, they all seem to have split personalities. No offense, but you can't deny that there is some truth to this statement, no? Well, can we all call this the calm before the storm? Mostly the cast is keeping it quiet, always on guard as they don't want to give away much, but we love how little investigators are out there gathering all the intel we can get. We sure hope that Archie will not return to his vigilante ways, and that Tony doesn't return to the show as a ghost. We can't get with that. Please, writers, have mercy. We're also hoping for good things for Veronica. We mean, that gal has just gone through too much. A marriage with a control freak, having to constantly battle her own blood relations, and also that constant heartbreak. The men in Miss Lodge's life are just not worthy of this brilliantly talented woman. Do better, writers. Don't mess this up for her. While Season 7 is set to be aired sometime in 2023, we only have these tidbits to carry us through. Information is scarce, but we got you, fam, and we will keep bringing you news, no matter how we get it. Just kidding, gotta rely on the internet, bro. We're pretty cool, but also responsible. The makers have also promised a bittersweet end, and this just opened an entirely new set of scenarios for us, but let's go over those another time. That's a wrap for this video. What do you think will happen as Riverdale comes to a close? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.